These 28 days, we learn about and celebrate thriving Black community in Canada. Black History Month is about honoring the enormous contribution that Black people have made and continue to make in all sections, all sectors of our society. It is about celebrating resilience, innovation, and determination to work towards a more inclusive and diverse Canada. A Canada in which everyone has every opportunity to flourish. My guest for today is one such very talented, bright and beautiful, energetic, one in a million woman, Shelley Jarrett.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, and thank you so much for having me today.
Shelley is a multiple award winning entrepreneur, CEO, founder of SJP Consulting Corporation, founder and publisher SMJ Magazine. I love this magazine. Co founder of Charlotte House of Films. And recently, she started some e course also. She's a speaker, film producer, vocal about women's rights, and recipient of 100 Black Women to Watch Canada. Congratulations, Shelley, for the success.
Thank you so much, Ekta. Thank you.
Okay, so we are all celebrating here Black History Month. We commemorate, celebrate, and recognize all the achievements of Canadians of African descent and recognize their rights to equal opportunity and freedom in Canada. How do you look at it and how do you celebrate this Black History Month?
Oh, well, this is a wonderful month. Even though it's February, it's cold, but it's great because we get to celebrate 400 years of history in Canada. I'm proud to be a Black woman in Canada. I mean, we are not new immigrants here. We've been in Canada over 400 years. Actually, the first Black person to enter Canada was a guy by the name of Matthew de Costa in 1608.
Yes.
And, you know, we celebrate many, many firsts because we also have the first Black woman that was elected in Canada's parliament was the Honorable Jean Augustine in 1993. And she was also instrumental behind 25 years ago that a law was passed that February would be classified as Black History Month. So, you know, we've been doing wonderful work, celebrating Black excellence from coast to coast for many, many years. So I thank you so much today for allowing me to share.
Of course, I love it. My best friend is also a Black woman, and I just adore her. And I love you as well. You're a wonderful friend of mine. And I'm so glad that you agreed to come on my show and speak to you. Okay, let's play the video my team has made for you.
Okay.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yes.
Okay, your documentary, What About Us, was quite a success. What inspired you to make that?
Well, it's because of the Me Too hashtag that went viral a few years ago. And I just remembered all the work that I did back then. My first love is always to work with women, enhance women, empower women. And so I felt having a media platform, I felt a sense of obligation to bring these stories right here in our community to the forefront so that others can learn from each other and also to be able to tell their stories, because many times the gender-based violence is very prevalent, and if somebody doesn't take up the cause and do something about it, it's something that continues. So it's been all my joy, my activism work, and I thought it was a sense of obligation because we know that these things are happening right here in our community, in the schools, in the churches, and in the workplace, everywhere. So I would just wanted some diverse BIPOC women to, talk about their experiences, so it could help to maybe heal some others, and also to have other women talk about their experiences.
Yeah, how did he get in touch with those women from different communities, different nationalities? Like, I believe
Well,
these from 5 different communities.
right. As you know, I publish a magazine which I've been publishing for the last 8 years, and all our stories are original stories, and we look at stories from marginalized and racialized communities. And we, after the Me Too broke, like I said, I asked one of my contributors, one of our writers, to go in the GTA and interview some women, some BIPOC women who've had these experiences: domestic violence, sexual assaults, all forms of. And she came back and she did a wonderful job. And we had 5 women that were publishing the magazines. And when I saw the stories, and it really touched my heart. It broke my heart, actually, to know that this is happening. And these women were so raw and so honest with their stories. I felt it needed a bigger platform. So I decided in my mind, this has to be a documentary. I need more women to tell their stories. So we got 4 from the magazine are in the documentary, and we actually casted. We put out a casting call, and we casted 4 more members. So there are 8 women from the 5 major cultural backgrounds telling their stories.
Yeah, I've seen that. It was quite a touching and a very beautiful work you have done, the way you presented that. So, did you learn this movie making thing also? Or?
Actually, just by the grace of God, I have had no film experience, never went to film school, but just part of it is my social work background and those listening skills, and those embracing those women, listening to their stories. It brought me right back when I worked in the field. Of course, this takes me back like 20 years ago. I worked with women in domestic violence. And
Yeah.
so I gathered the professionals around me. Luckily for me, my husband is a writer, he's an editor, he's a script writer. So I said to him, I don't know where we're going to get the money, but we have to do this film. We have to bring these stories to the big screen. And the ladies agreed. And yeah, a lot. I got my husband is a script writer, and I got the professionals around me, the editors, everyone around. I just told them how I wanted it to look, what I want to get out of it. Is this documentary is about awareness and education, and my goal is to take it across Canada, from coast to coast, so that every woman can see, and it can help them to tell their stories as
To
well.
speak up,
Really
to
is
speak
about,
up, to
and speak
share.
up, because it's a lot of stigma, a lot of shame, and people don't want to talk about these things. But should we start talking about it, we can affect policy change.
Yes, I think it does help. It does help when you open up, when you share your story. You
Yes.
feel a little lighter from inside.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And
Yeah.
so it's gotten, like I said, we've won 4 awards. It's
I was,
just amazing.
I
It took me by surprise, because I was just wanting these women to tell their stories, give voice to the voiceless, but we know how important it is. So each time I screen it, there's always some reaction. And my goal is to always have panel discussions and keep the conversation going.
I was just going to ask this only. How many awards did your documentary won? How much?
It's won 4 awards. We're very happy. A lot of it's been received very, very well.
Yeah, it's a very nice feeling when people acknowledge your good work.
Yeah, and I sort of went the extra mile to get the professionals. It's not, I don't know everything. I'm learning as well, to get the professionals in to give their, why does this happen? Why is it so prevalent among women? What is causing it? This power and control. How can we work through it? So I got the professionals, a professor from the George Brown College that teaches the courts women's issues, and it deals a lot with gender-based violence. So she's on the film, because we did some final editing, because we felt this was very important to add this. It's not
Yeah.
just stories coming out of nowhere. This is actually documented. There's statistics. There's, COVID has brought on even more things are open up now, more forms of abuse that women need to pay attention to. Economic abuse due to COVID. A lot of women were locked at home with their abusers. A lot is happening, and a lot is going on. The
Yeah.
rise in the domestic violence
I
in,
was
in every city. In Oakville, just the other day, there's a report about a lot of domestic violence in a city like Oakville. So it's across cultures, it's across social economic boundaries. It's everywhere. It's no one specific culture that this happens to. It could be any woman.
I was just going to talk about this only with you that during COVID-19 there has been a substantially very high rate of domestic violence, and you already mentioned about that.
Yes.
So what's your next project now after this? What about?
Okay, so things always take me by surprise. COVID has been bad, as well as it's not so good, as well as a lot of opportunities has opened up. As you know, we do a lot of virtual now. We're not able to go out and meet people, but I was involved in a conference over the 16 days of activism, and there were some women sharing their stories of gender-based violence. And there was one woman that she's from the LGBTQ community. She's a trans woman, and when she told her story, it's sort of like I got interested in her story, because this is a community that is ostracized by the community, by their family. So she told a very intriguing story. So I wanted to take a little deeper look and bring her story, give her a voice in her story, because she wants to do like so much. She's gone through so much, and she wants to do a lot for her community. So if I have a platform again, I'm just a vessel, really, and a voice for the voiceless. I want to, work on her story and bring it to the world.
It's a very sensitive topic. It's very
sensitive, because I myself, I'm learning, and that's what there were many women sharing their stories, but her stories touch my heart. I do things from the heart. Really, it has to really touch me in order for me to get involved. And I don't know everything, again, like I said, but I am also learning. So it's a great experience when you're learning together, because you can win together. And so I found her story very intriguing, and I think it's important, because there's violence against women as well as there's violence against queer women, trans women. And so those stories are important to bring to the forefront.
It's indeed a very good topic you've picked up, and I'm sure you're going to be winning a lot of awards with this.
Well, it's okay. I take the award, but I'm really interested in the work that I do, and I want to set myself apart from others. Like I said, I only do stories that touch my heart and feel that it's a social justice issue, and I can do something about it, because we're all here for a reason. We're here for a purpose, and we need to make use of our time here, because things are changing so fast. I mean, people are dying. There's so many. I've lost so many friends, even in this COVID. Young people like myself, younger than me, have died, and I want to be able to do something before I leave this earth. To be honest, to say, well, at my eulogy, what did she do? I want to be able to say, well, she tried to do this. She tried to make these changes, and that's really my purpose right now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of things happening in COVID, and I really admire how you connect to people. You're so sensitive and you're so compassionate. This is another beauty of you. My team also made some small little video on the Black History Month.
Yes.
If they can play that as well.
Sure.
The first black person to step foot on soil now known as Canada is thought to be Mathieu de Costa, a free man believed to be employed as an interpreter for Samuel de Champlain. King Louis XIV formally authorizes slavery in New France, allowing for the regular practice of forced labor in the colony. Marie-Joseph Angelique, a slave, is accused of setting fire to her owner's Montreal home.
Hello, I'm Mayor John Tory, and I'm proud to recognize and celebrate February as Black History Month in the City of Toronto. This Black History Month feels a bit different than the ones we've celebrated before. The past few months have not been easy for Black Torontonians. We've witnessed horrific incidents of anti-Black racism abroad as well as here at home, which is why acknowledging this month is more important now than ever. COVID-19 has heightened the existing social and economic inequities that exist within our city and within marginalized groups in our city. And I know that the overwhelming sense of grief and frustration and pain felt during the summer of 2020 continue to burden the hearts and minds of many.
This is a time for us to unite.
Are celebrating Black people who changed the world. It's that time again. Let us all join in. We are celebrating Black people who changed.
Black people who change the world. I'm sure if this COVID wouldn't have been here, we were out somewhere celebrating and enjoying and dancing.
Thank you so much for telling her stories.
Thank you so much, Shelley. One last question.
Sure.
You recently started this webinar e-commerce course during COVID. Would you like to share a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. As you know, I started my business like 8 years ago, and I was fortunate enough to do an entrepreneurial course in Oakville, Ontario. And that course taught me everything I needed to know about operating my own business. So when COVID hit, and the Minister of Small Business, Mary Ng, she mentioned that women are going to need some new skills, and so to pivot their businesses to an online space. And right away I got, oh my God, I did this like 8 years ago. Why didn't I go get my binder? Where is it? So I got my binder out, and then it's exact same modules, everything that I learned, because I'm said, if I started that and I'm successful, I operate 3 businesses, 2 businesses with my husband and 1 with myself that I formed. Like I said, SJP Consulting is during COVID. And so I thought, why not share this with other women in the community? And I just developed the course and I turned it into video modules. Right, because it's online, and that's what I've been promoting, and I want women to be able to. I mean, I didn't reinvent the wheel; it's the same module. I'm saying, if I'm successful, you can be successful too. So I just wanted to pay it forward to women, and this is something that you can do. You don't have to be at home if you cannot go back out to work, because many women would not be going out back to work because of the change. It's a reset. So you got to reset in your mind as well. I'm going to have to do something. And it doesn't matter what kind of business it is. You could be selling cookies. There's a marketing plan for that. So that's what the course is all about. It's 5 modules, teaches you everything, e-marketing, branding, how to do a basic business plan. As you know, starting a business, you do need a business plan, because you have to follow, how do I do my bookkeeping, my financials. So everything is pretty basic, but if you follow it step by step, you're bound to be successful.
Awesome. Very well explained. It's people like you who make a society a beautiful place, a better place. Shelley, all the work you've been doing for our society is commendable. And I hope you continue to do your work and raise awareness about the social issues that are very much prevailing in our society. Wish you all the very best for whatever you're doing for the community in future. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you so much, and have a great day. And you're also doing a great, fabulous job. Continue with your good work.
Thank you so much. Stay safe and healthy, Shelley.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.